And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Off to the races we go. It's a Friday, the end of the week. This is August the 4th, first Friday of August.
Yeah, we're here.
We are here. Odie's in the house. We're both wearing red. What a great day it's going to be. I don't know. I got caught up, and I was a minute or two late starting the broadcast because I got caught up in. Do y'all remember the movie Maverick? Well, they had a song from it called "Amazing Grace," and all of them singing it. And I was watching the video, and I was trying to count who was still with us and who wasn't. Waylon was in it. He's gone. I thought I saw a glimpse of Eddie Rabbit in it. Laurie White, who has passed away. And there was one other that let's see who else was in that. James Garner, who was the original Maverick, was in it. And I got to go back and watch it. They've done such a great job with that song. If you want to pep me up, listen to that song. Some of the best country stars of all time singing Amazing Grace. It always impresses me. How is everyone? It's Friday. I feel good about being here. We've got a special guest coming up at 6:30 this morning. Chief Deputy Ward Calhoun will be here to tell us why he should be your next sheriff. And as always, we're fair. Next coming Monday, we'll have Ricky Roberts here, who will also tell his side of the story. So we'll give you an opportunity to hear from both candidates of what they plan. And, well, it's coming. Believe it or not, Tuesday is the deadline, and a few signs will go away, and I'm sure that there's going to be a runoff or two in each county dealing with all of this. Some of the most heated races here in Lauderdale County. I think Clark has a pretty good one going on with their sheriff there. Let's see, nothing really going over in Newton on that sheriff's race. Kind of calm there. Not as calm also in Neshoba County. And we've got a little race going on in Kemper County. We'll see who comes out victors in all of this. And we'll be giving you live broadcast coverage as we bring this to you on Tuesday night. Odie will be with me, and we'll bring you coverage of the elections, taking care of that. So make sure to check us out. We'll be telling you more about it as the morning progresses. Today is Friday. As I said, I love it. Let's go in and check in with Brother Ben. Let's head out to Collinsville First Baptist Church for a good word.
I wonder, what are some of the things that you rejoice in? Your favorite team winning that game? That precious grandbaby being born? Tagging that big trophy buck? Seeing your favorite person win on that TV show you love to watch? Or how about payday? Do you rejoice on payday? But you know what typically doesn't make our list, but should? Suffering. Yeah, suffering. If we're going to be biblical, we should rejoice in our suffering, because that's exactly what the Holy Spirit tells us through Apostle Paul in Romans 5. When he teaches by example, saying, we rejoice in our sufferings. And before you just write that off as crazy, hear why he rejoiced in his sufferings, and so should we. Here's the fullness of what he said there. Not only that, but we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. And hope doesn't put us to shame, because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who's been given to us. Do you see now why we're to rejoice in our suffering? It's not the suffering itself we rejoice in as if we're some masochist. No, we rejoice in what our suffering produces in us. It produces endurance and character and hope, and it's all there because of love, which all of that overshadows the suffering. So may you see your suffering through a biblical lens today and experience these good spiritual fruits so that you might, by the grace of God, rejoice even in your suffering. And what a difference that'll make in you and around you. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. If you're just joining us for the first time, good morning to you. Hope you'll make this a part of your day. We're here each and every day at 6:30, and then we come about at 7 o'clock for the morning show. As we look at headlines that are shaping America today, two U.S. Navy sailors have been arrested. What have they done? Sharing secrets with China. We can't have that. We'll see where that goes, and we'll watch that in the headlines of what the charges and all will be on that. Other headlines this morning as we look at this. Florida, they moved forward last night with executing someone who committed a murder in 1997 and while in custody admitted to killing or hurting someone in late 88. He raped a woman in 88, beat her with a hammer. He would kill his wife in 1997. He was put to death last night. He refused his last meal. I'm not going to shed a tear over this at all. Some believe in capital punishment, and I happen to believe one of those. What's that saying? Eye for an eye? What's going on with Bud Light as we look around the nation, the headlines this morning is, well, will it ever recover from what happened with the Dillon episode? As retailers now, and if you know anything about stores, that shelf front is everything of who gets, I guess the word is jockeying for front position of who has the product. Like your bread, who's on there? Where's Little Debbie? As the list goes on, as Coors and, well, Miller Lite is replacing that to the front spot. They're moving Bud Light to the back across the nation. We'll see if they recover from this. Now, I haven't seen the video, and I don't think it's been released, but a trooper has been, all charges have been dropped against him. A federal jury in Louisiana acquitted a trooper. There was a video of some sort of him hitting somebody with a hammer, with a flashlight. Now, as I've learned with headlines across America with major networks, when they word these things, they don't show the whole video. Was the trooper attacked? Did he have no choice? Well, the jury has acquitted him, so there was more to that little clip than they threw out there in the beginning. They have not released the full video to the public, but he has been acquitted, so it makes me believe it was sort of like the Mississippi State trooper who was attacked. The guy was in handcuffs and 3 people were coming at him. There was more to this story than we knew, but he's been acquitted and will go on about his life. I don't know what to think about this of someone waiting this long. As we go to a Northwestern football, apparently there's some controversy going on there, and a player that was there 10, 15 years ago is now filing a lawsuit saying that he was discriminated against. Cinco de Mayo, that other players held him down and put the symbol in his hairline. Is 10 years too long? Is that way after the fact? Should this have been handled before now? If something was wrong, why didn't you speak then? It says you can't watch. It's traumatized him, and he can't watch football anymore. One call, that's all, is what I hear. I could be wrong. Miami, as we look at this morning, there's always a little bit more, and this happens a lot. As a police officer, police were called to a hotel room on someone. They didn't know who it was. They get there, and it ended up being the Miami police chief's hotel room. His wife had called and said he'd threatened to shoot himself. Cops came, broke up and left. Later on, he would follow through with the threat. Miami is where all of that happened. 6:38 this morning as we bring you sunshine. I can't get it out. Let's talk about how hot it's going to be. A couple of things before we get into the full forecast. I can't talk today. Let's talk about severe weather. There is a chance of severe weather this afternoon that's going to be coming across Mississippi and Alabama. And let's pull up radar before we get to the full forecast. Look at this. All the way through Hattiesburg, Laurel, these areas here, a level 1. This will take in all of the East Mississippi area up through the Mississippi Delta, taking in most of Alabama there. West central Alabama over to Columbus, Georgia, and out to the Florida coastline there. So nothing horrible, but it is a level 1. Damaging winds with this and thunderstorms. This should move in after 2 o'clock this afternoon. We've got a 50-50 shot of getting this. We'll give you full details in just a moment. Y'all don't rush off. We'll have all of that for you next.
I'm Kenneth Graham, and I want to be your coroner in Lauderdale County. The job of coroner is primarily about death investigation. In my experience, families and loved ones want the truth. With my training, experience, and background as an investigator, I am the best person for this job. You only get one chance when investigating a death, and this job must be done right. So please vote for me, Kenneth Graham, coroner, Lauderdale County.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, or conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
Same old sound, and no one's answering. Vote for change. Vote Ben Shirley, District 81 Representative, on August 8th. Ben will answer the phone. Ben will get answers in Jackson for District 81. Ben will create jobs and promote economic development for East Mississippi.
I'm Ben Shirley, and I'm asking for your vote in the August 8th Republican primary.
Vote Ben, District 81, August 8th. Paid for by Ben Shirley.
Welcome back. I got caught reading text. Whoops. A lot going on this morning. And I do agree with Aaron. He says there should be a limitation on the amount of time it can be that you can still file something against somebody. I thought it was like 3 years in most cases, but apparently you can go further than that from time to time. These cases. Sheila, good morning to you as well. Renee is up joining us. Miss Connie, Charlotte Gray, Philadelphia checking in. Ann Hall. We have folks from all over the area as we start our day. Let's get into our forecast now and find out just how hot it's going to be.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we look at our record highs and record lows today, as I said, it's going to be a scorcher, and we've got several things we need to look at as heat advisories and all. As we go back and look at our record highs and record lows, we start this with 2016, 102. Back in 65, it was 60. As we move to look at that is not right. That is the overnight low that I put in there accidentally. Today, as I'll switch this and just tell you what I know, 99 is what we will see across Mississippi. Now, this is going to be all the way up through taking in the areas of Starkville out to our west. It'll be right at 100 there in Vicksburg. So hot weather across that. As we move to Alabama, we'll see that, well, the rain keeps it to about 94 to the east of us, 90 in Tuscaloosa, 94 in Selma. Montgomery should be about 91. That heavier rain north of Demopolis through Tuscaloosa and those areas. As we move across here, here's the threat as we looked at on my radar. Now, it will be somewhere between 11 o'clock and 7 p.m., so lunchtime. The biggest threat that I've gone into and seen this should be around 2 o'clock for our area. It may update it. It is Mother Nature we're dealing with, but expect it around 2 o'clock for our area. They open up that window in case it moves a little bit there. As we look at the heat, look at this. It's going to be hot through Sunday. Significant risk between 110 and 115. We're projected to be 113 today in the Meridian area. This is all of this red back to about Brandon, taken in Columbus, Louisville, all the way down here through Laurel, Waynesboro, and Quitman. If you live in any of those areas, it's bad. As we move west, up to 120, Jackson, Mississippi, and the Mississippi Delta. Even Hattiesburg will hit that 120 on the heat index side. Some of the hottest weather I think we've had. As we look to Bama, heat advisories are in effect. We've got them through 9 p.m. Mississippi side is 8 p.m. Alabama through 9 p.m. as we look at that. As we see the severe weather on the Bama side, pretty much like Mississippi side of level 1, damaging wind gusts of up to 60 miles an hour. Nothing any more serious than that is expected, but we know how rainfall happens. And flooding is expected in northern Alabama, Gadsden, Anniston, those areas there north of Hamilton. Expect some flooding, so be careful, though, north of Birmingham anywhere. Now, as we look at this, temperatures, make that where you can see that better. Above average is what we've got. Even hotter. Look at this moving into West Texas. And that will slowly make its way back here for another round of hot weather. Boy, kids have got it made nowadays. Back when we started school, y'all remember, we had those crank windows? Now there's no air conditioning. It is now. Thank goodness. That has helped a lot. As we look at the forecast here, 97 to 99, depending upon where you're standing today, is what it will be. 50% chance of those showers following 2 o'clock. As we move into the weekend, we're going to drop just a tad, a 40% chance of showers Saturday and Sunday. You'll still be able to get some events in. It won't be too horrible there. By Monday, we're at 30%, but by Tuesday, Election Day, look at this. One of our biggest chances of rain, 60% chance of rain on Tuesday. The high will be right at 90, not as hot. Waking up that morning, the following day, it's 70. Not bad at all there. We're staying at 93 all the way through Thursday of next week. And as we jump to the 18th of August, that's kind of the middle of the month there, we're hovering there in the low 90s for the most part. We got some days it will be 95, but for the most part, it'll be somewhere between 91 to 93. Scattered chances of rain, big one chance there on the 15th. Now, as we look at this, as we go out to the Gulf of Mexico this morning, absolutely nothing there. We're in August. That's good. Be prepared. We usually, if you'll go back and look at statistically, toward the end of August, we start getting threats on this. Nothing on the horizon right now. Wouldn't it be nice for no damage and no one to be hurt from a hurricane this year? That would be wonderful. Let's hope and pray that that stays the course. As we look at our fishing calendar for August the 4th, today is it. It looks like our major time is going to be this afternoon, beginning at 3 o'clock until 5 o'clock. It will be hot. Again, make sure you can handle hot weather if you're going to go fishing in that. The wind's going to be southwest 5 to 10, becoming northeast in the afternoon. Wind gust as high as 20 miles an hour. What does that mean? Well, if you're fishing with the wind, your lure will go a long way. If you're fighting it, it's going to be bad. Backlashes and a whole lot more. That's a quick look at your forecast this morning. We're going to get an extra round of coffee as we get ready for our next show. A lot has gone on. Someone was shot in Newton last night. We'll tell you about that. Also, there's been an arrest at the Neshoba County Fair. Lord have mercy. We've got that and so much more. And also, Chief Deputy Ward Calhoun will be in this morning to share his thoughts of why he should be your next sheriff. He's going to be on tap. We'll talk to Ward coming up. So make sure to tune in this morning, see what you can determine from all of this. Elections are here. Can you believe Tuesday right around the corner? All the candidates are getting ready for that. Some races will have runoffs. There's just no way around it. There's too many people running and then no one getting that 51%. That's what we expect. Unless it's just a blowout somewhere. We'll see. Thank y'all for dropping by. We do appreciate it. We'll be right back in roughly about 5 minutes. We'll go back live as we bring you this morning.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: